Okay, as you see, I'm back, and the endpoint has started, and we can take a look at that. So you see it's running, as you see right here. So our next step is to go ahead and create. We'll go to SQL Editor. Okay, and from here we're going to create. We're going to look at our Metastore, our catalog, and the tables within them, which are down in here, right? So the default is here, and it's showing some different tables. So I'm going to go back to Hive, just like this, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to create a database or catalog, and they call it catalog, but when you type it in, it's database. So my database name is going to be demo, or I'm going to call it underscore. I'm going to call it one demo. Oh, it's going to take a numeric at the beginning, but let's see. We'll find out soon enough. I want it to show up at the very top, that's all. All right, it's successful. All right, so let's go over here and we'll go to, there it is, one demo. So when we go to one demo, we see there's no tables in there, right? And that's the whole point of this video is we're going to bring the tables into one demo. And what we're going to do is we go back to, and this is a little weird, you'd think it would be in SQL here, SQL piece. So we're going to go up here to where the Databricks is, to the beginning of the beginning, right? And here we're still in SQL, and it has its own wizards here. All right, but it doesn't have an import. Here it is, the data import wizard. Okay, there's some very good wizards here, by the way. This AutoML is incredible. You know, there's all sorts of good stuff here. But let's go ahead and the easy stuff, easy way to do things. I mean, you know, of course you have to do a lot more things than that, but it's a good getting started. So let's go to upload data. Okay. So now we're in the upload data, very simple. Go to browse. Now this will only allow me to bring in one table at a time, or one file at a time. So it says you can bring in a CSV or a tab separated table. So I will go to my area here. Okay. And I have them all under CSV files. So there they are, the ones I brought in from Datagrip. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and bring in, let's go in order. So we'll just bring in activity type first. So it's bringing it in. It automatically has, it's defaulted to the first row contains the header. It's very quick. So here it is. So it also, and I'll show you this in a minute, it also can identify what the, like here, identify that the activity type is a numeric and that the activity type name is character, alphanumeric. And same with description, okay, which I don't have anything for. So that all looks like it came in well. So let's go back. So I'm going to create an, oh, now I created a table. It brought it in, now it's asking me, do you want to create a table? And where do you want to create that table? So my default is Hive Metastore, default, and then the name they're going to name it as activity type. Now I want it not to go there, that's why I brought this to the very top. So I'll bring this to the top. I want it to go to the demo catalog or database. I also don't use underscores. So I kind of like it like this. So let's just see if it's only going to contain lowercase, so that's fine. So now we're just going to say create table, and I think everything is good. Let's look at advanced attributes. Column delimiter, automatically detect column types, which it already has, which is great. And row spans multiple lines, which I don't have. Okay, so let's create table. So this process, once it's done, I'll do for all the other ones, and I'll put this in fast motion so you don't have to watch it. Okay, that's done. So let's just go ahead and go to another tab. Let's duplicate this one, and we'll jump back over to SQL. Okay, so I go to the SQL editor, And I should see then, there's my demo, is there, still over there. And there it is, activity type, right? So that's great. Let's go ahead and bring it. I'm going to bring in all the other tables and then be back. Okay, thanks. Okay, so it's finished. We got all of the tables over with no problem. And we're going to just do a little bit of checking here. Yeah. So we're right now, it puts us right into the Explorer window, the Data Explorer. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the data. I need to go over SQL, right? Because that's the area that I'm working in, the tier. So here's the Data Explorer I'm talking about. This is what we're talking about. So let's go back up to our demo, and there's our tables, right? And here's some information about it, some details. There's where it's located, DBFS, user, Hive, warehouse. And so what it's doing is that there's a metadata server, virtual server that's running all the time, and it's stored, and that's where this information is stored. Now, these are called managed tables. These are located on that server, okay? Um, Generally, when we build our data warehouses and our data lakes, we'll probably be using an external where we're over on the Azure storage blob containers Gen 2, and I will be building them there. I think that's going to be cheaper and more, I can manage it a little better. So, but that's, again, this is why it's so simple here. And we're not having to do any of that legwork of creating a storage account or anything else. It's doing it all for us right here and saving it out and pushing it and pulling it wherever, to this point. But when you do an external table, you'll still have a meta store. So you'll still have this abstraction layer on top of your data. So it isn't like you're going to have to, when Power BI users come in, they're not going to have to go figure out what, storage account and what blob container it's in or any of that. It's going to all talk through this area here, just like it would if it was going to SQL Server or to Redshift or to any of them. Okay. Okay, so that's that. So let's just go ahead and do a couple queries. So I'm just going to come over to SQL Editor. And here we are, we're in demo. So let's just go ahead and do a couple queries. I want to do some counts. So one thing you can do, actually, before I do the counts, I can go into Player, right? And, over on Data Explorer, if I go into any one of these, right? So if I want to go in and look at Player, right? I can come here and I can go and look at sample data. So right there, it just gives me a little bird's eye view of what the data looks like. Okay. And then city, these are nothing exciting, but again, and there's your cities, your levels, your players. And so here's it. I think we just went to players, so player level. Again, you go to your sample data. Okay, and it has history and permissions here. You can set up permissions here for these tables for your users, etc. Okay, so let's go back up to SQL Editor. I want to see some counts. So I'm just going to go ahead and just show you two counts. Select count. Okay, I can type. And let's make sure I learn what I'm doing here. Let's call player. Those are the big tables. And then let's do another select count from one demo dot player level, right? These are the two big tables. These are what you would, and it's an application. This would end up being your probably your fact tables, or at least a fact in a one dimension table. So let's go ahead and run this. Okay, it doesn't like that. It wants to only want to run it one at a time. So let's do that. So I highlight that one and run. there. So you see it's 152,000 for the player table. For the player level table, it's 240,000. 244,000. So it's, it's not huge or nothing, but it's still something, right? So those are over there in those directories inside of the Hive.